Hi. So before we get into this, um, I'm just like really excited about some things. One, cat hair. My voice is getting deeper. That's really exciting. It's also kind of scary because my parents don't know. But yeah, um, I think that's really cool. Um, Another thing is, like, even though like I'm so happy doing this, like I'm probably gonna stop. Um, like just because having to hide it and just continuously lying to my parents when I hate lying, just adds a lot of stress that's not needed. So yeah. Um Anyways, into the video today. We will be reacting to this video by Alliance Defending Freedom. Um I've already so I got this as an ad. Um which is how I also found the last video I reacted to. So, anyways, it seems really transphobic. So, it's mainly from the little bit I saw, because I'm just like, what is this? Um, it's mainly geared towards trans women. So people, so yeah, and just being like, me to protect women's privacy, um, for the main fact that men can't be women, which in ways they're right. Like they're right in some ways. Um, but like trans women are women, so like that's they're a bit confused. They're really confused. Not just a bit. They're really confused. Anyways, this is like a 6-minute video. Um, let's let's hope that I don't continuously stop it like the last one and it ends up being like an hour long, because everything I tend to say I feel like is important going into this. So like I kind of don't want to edit things out. So yeah.
Should a school-aged girl or a grown woman be forced to give up her privacy in a locker room because a biological man identifying as a woman wants to change there?
Sorry. Identifying. It's like okay, like probably shouldn't put air quotes, but like if someone says they're a woman, like, like they genuinely like they like even if it changes later on. Like me, I for a while I thought that I was a trans man. I'm I'm non-binary. During So like even if labels do change at that moment, however someone identifies is correct. It's only 13 seconds in. Oh god. So if someone's like, yeah, hey, I'm a woman, then they are a woman. It's not like you should like no, they if someone's a woman, then they belong in women's spaces because they're a woman. Sheesh.
Should a shelter serving women who have survived rape, sex trafficking, and domestic violence be forced to allow biological men to sleep side by side with these women? Should faith
Like so like this is about as far as I got in the last one, like a little bit before. Like I got through the first part before. But like honey, what if they're in that space? That probably means they went through the same things, and I don't think anyone, unless they're transphobic, would be uncomfortable with a trans woman being in a woman's space that have went through the same traumatic experience or close to it that they've been into. Like, what?
Based adoption providers be shut down for following their conviction that the best environment for each child includes a mother and a father in a committed and stable marriage? Should a biological male who believes he is female be allowed to compete against women and girls in female?
Sorry, I can't. This is so stupid. Like, listen, unless you can't find anything against the person that's that actually shows that they wouldn't be a good parent or something, let the people adopt the child. The children need a home. Unless you can find evidence that it's a bad home. Like, let the child have a happy home. Like, sheesh. And then the women's sports thing. If they take hormones, they're gonna have the same strength. They're gonna have the same strength that a woman has. That a biological woman has. Like a cis woman would have. Same with someone taking testosterone. They gain muscle mass. You may say same height, but they still have the same muscle mass.
Sports, depriving female athletes of a level playing field and countless opportunities to win and even earn college scholarships? According to the so-called Equality Act, a priority for Democrats, including President Biden, the answer to all these questions is yes. Despite its appealing name, the Equality Act poses an unprecedented threat to women, children, free speech, and religious freedom. At its
Hold up.
a threat to women, children, free speech, and religion.
What? How is it a threat to children? Also, how is it a threat to religious freedom? You can still practice whatever religion you want. You just can't be homophobic or transphobic or be a garbage human being. And it changes nothing of rights. It just makes sure that everyone knows, hey, yeah, these people are different, but they deserve rights too. Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm yelling. I seem really loud in my ears. This place probably still thinks trans men are women and is oh, we're not trans exclusionary feminists. We include trans men. It's the same energy. This is the same freaking energy. No. Okay.
Just freedom. At its core, the act ignores what science tells us about the differences between men and women.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure most science would be would disagree with what you believe in. Science strictly proves that there's more than one gender. And the only reason we get taught, the only reason we don't get taught about all the ways chromosomes can align is just because there's not enough time in the school year and it's a bit complicated and we're just learning the basics of it. We're not going into depth because we're not going into that field.
women, leaving women and girls to pay the price in shelters, locker rooms, and on the field of play. The same goes for a similar bill dubbed Fairness for All, which proposes meager and likely temporary carve-outs for religious groups. In short, the Equality Act doesn't offer equality.
Wait, hold up.
A similar bill dubbed Fairness for All, which proposes meager and likely temporary carve-outs for religious groups.
Hold up. Hold on. Yeah. Oh wait, nope, wrong one. There we go. Okay, hold on. Fairness for All. Fairness for All Act. Congress. Okay. So I'm on congress.gov. Okay. Section 1, short title, Fairness for All Act, prohibits against discrimination or segregation in places of public accommodation. In subsection, by inserting sex, sexual orientation, gender identity before, or national origin. Okay, so what I'm thinking is just saying, okay, just browsing through this, it's like, wait, it's so wrong. Okay, so basically, you can't. What it's basically saying is you can't like discriminate or like segregate people because of sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin, or just like by anything the person is in a public space. That's like section 2. Section 3, prohibitions of discrimination in federally funded programs. You can't discriminate in federally funded programs based on like anything. Like this is Section 607, program or activity, and program defined for purposes of religion entities as applied to sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity. For this purpose of the title, as applied to sex, sexual orientation, gender identity for any religious corporation, association, educational institution, or society. The term program or activity and the term program are limited to any specific program or activity or part thereof that receives federal finance assistance. Any penalty or loss of federal financial assistance assessed against such a religious entity shall be limited to the program or activity of program or part thereof that is determined to have violated Section 601. Section 601. This is part of Section 603. Okay. Safeguards for religious organizations receiving assistance. In general, otherwise qualified religious providers shall be eligible to receive federal financial assistance for a particular service without regard to the provider's religious views or teachings, notwithstanding Section 2000D. Subject to this title, a religious organization that applies for or participates in a program or activity receiving federal financial assistance shall retain its independence and may continue to carry out its mission, including the definition, development, and expression of its religious beliefs. Section 609. Specialized federal finance assistance to an entire entity. Assistance for adoption and foster care. At-risk children deserve a safe and caring family, and reducing the number of vulnerable children without a permanent home is in the federal interest. Basically, it's just like hey, if it's going to be a loving home, let them adopt a child. It's basically that's what I'm reading. Section 611, sex-specific segregation or programs. If sex segregation or sex-specific programs is necessary to the essential operation of a program or activity, nothing in this title shall prevent any such program or activity from considering an individual's sex, provided that where appropriate to accomplish the purpose of the program or activity, individuals are treated in accordance with their gender identity. Basically, it's just like, hey, if someone says to you that they're a woman, like, then they're a woman. Like, you can't just be like, no, and just like kind of disrespect them. It's basically just like, respect everyone, dude. I think with Section 612, neutrality with respect to abortion. Employment discrimination prohibited. Can't discriminate when employing. I'm skipping over a lot of this. If you want to read this whole, like this whole bill, like I'll link it in the comment section. Housing discrimination prohibited. You can't discriminate when providing housing. Marriage. Other non-discrimination requirements. Marriage recognition. And discriminate when someone's married with. Anti-bullying policies. No bullying. Okay. I'm like basically at the end of this. Okay. Oh, here we go. We're back. Here.
Groups.
Okay.
In short, the Equality Act doesn't offer equality.
I saw nothing of what they're trying to say.
It creates victims. How would the Equality Act do this?
You're creating victims, oh no. No, they're not. They're not creating victims.
By adding gender identity and sexual orientation to federal laws like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the act seeks to impose the government's views about marriage, sex, and what it means to be male and female on the entire nation.
They're not trying to force their beliefs. They're just being like, hey, these people exist, and we have to like recognize that they exist. Like, that's all they're doing. Recognize that they exist.
For starters, the Equality Act would mandate that men who identify as women be allowed to compete for spots on female sports teams, for women's scholarships, and for other academic and sports-related opportunities designed specifically for women.
Well, they are women, so they should be able to. They're women. Like, what? Like,
female athletes like Selena Soule, Chelsea Mitchell, and Alana Smith know this firsthand. They've all become victims of local policies similar to the Equality Act that force them to compete against biological males in competitive track.
I think you're making this like seem worse than it actually is. Like, unless they're transphobic, like, I don't think they care.
Meets. The results are predictable. Over a 3-year period, high school girls in Connecticut missed out on 15 titles and 85 opportunities to advance to the next level of competition. With the Equality Act, female athletes across the country will pay the price for ignoring the meaningful biological differences between men and women. Women competing against similarly gifted and trained males know the outcome of the race before it even starts. In 1 year, 275 high school boys ran faster times than the lifetime best of world champion sprinter Allison Felix. That's hardly equality. Rather, it's discrimination against women and girls.
Are you talking about trans women? Or are you talking about actual, males? Because if you're talking about, actual males, not trans women. Yeah, probably.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The Equality Act also poses a major threat to the very existence of religious organizations.
No, it does. No, it does not. It does not whatsoever. It's basically just saying, hey, if you receive federal funding, you can't discriminate. You can't be transphobic or homophobic. That's basically what it's saying. That's all it's saying. It's if this religious organization receives federal funding, they can't discriminate. They can't be homophobic or transphobic, which is technically what you're. And what they're referencing to, obviously there's more to it, but they're referencing basically they're being transphobic, so that's what I'm mainly talking about. But,
like schools, charities, and even churches. For many Americans, their faith inspires them to act for the good of their neighbors and for the flourishing.
Oh yeah, because being transphobic is definitely for the better. Yep, definitely.
Of society. Their faith also requires them to abide by its teachings regarding marriage, sex, and what it means to be male and female.
Oh God. This is
But the Equality Act directly threatens the ability of religious organizations to serve others.
It's just basically telling them not to discriminate. That's all it's saying.
According to the beliefs that inspire them. The act would force faith-based adoption providers, for example, to violate their core beliefs by placing children in homes without a mother and a father. Worse,
Oh, great. Yep, because that's definitely right. That's definitely right, because, they're definitely just hey, here, go to a house where you don't have any parents. They're gonna have parents. They're gonna have parents. Don't make the people seem listen, these people are gonna adopt them and just send them to a home where they won't be with anyone. No, they're still gonna have parents. They're still gonna have people take care of them.
Act could forbid nearly every religious school, charity, and church from hiring staff and leaders that share their religious views, if those views diverge from the new government orthodoxy.
They can still hire whoever they want. They just can't discriminate. That's basically what it's saying.
Under the Equality Act regime, the federal government may have more say over the next pastor of your church than your congregation, denomination, or diocese.
No, I don't think that, no.
And that means a total abandonment of the God-given freedoms of speech, religious exercise, and
no, there's not, none of that's gonna happen. You're still gonna have your freedom of speech, you're still gonna have freedom of religion.
And of assembly that America's founders set out to protect.
You're still gonna have, well, actually, no. Considering what's going on in the world right now, or was, I don't keep up with news very often. But, freedom of assembly is just, kind of getting kicked out the window already. And that's not because of the LGBTQ community. No. It's because of the cops.
In the Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
No.
The Act's devastating effects also extend to the marketplace. Just ask creative professionals like Jack Phillips or Baronel Stutzman. Both serve everyone, but cannot express all messages or participate in every event through their art. And when they politely decline to create art celebrating same-sex wedding ceremonies, Their home states of Colorado and Washington hounded them with years of litigation under laws similar to the Equality Act.
Like, one, I don't really see why anyone would refuse businesses. And like, I think what's like not told about like one of the cases is like this person like would like make flowers very regularly, like for this one person, without like real like my guess is without realizing that they were in a same-sex relationship. And then when they're like, hey, when they come like, hey, can you like make bouquets? I think that's what they're called for mine and my future husband's wedding. And it's just like, no, like it's like, dude, this person has been giving you regular service. At least be nice. Like he's good lord.
The Equality Act could multiply situations like these, imposing a nationwide version of the freedom-crushing state laws that harm people like Jack and Baronell. The freedom to live peaceably according to our beliefs is a bedrock of free society, resting on our human dignity.
One, like I would like to clarify this. True free society does not exist.
And codified by the First Amendment. The Equality Act imposes a belief system about marriage and human sexuality on everyone.
It doesn't. Like, you can believe what you want to believe. You just can't discriminate. It's all the Equality Act is. It's like you can't discriminate.
And treats reasonable people who disagree with the government's views based on decent and honorable grounds as hostile and unfit to participate in the marketplace. Our nation can and must do better.
No, you must do better. Like,
Want to support free speech, religious freedom, and the real differences between men and women by opposing the Equality Act, fairness for all, and related attacks on our God-given liberties? Visit www.adflegal.org/equality-act to learn how.
No. Anyways, okay. So, yeah, that was it. So there's a lot of lies in this. Like, obviously I'm just reacting. I don't really have much evidence with me. But yeah, like, definitely I will leave the link to the what was it again? Fairness for All Act. That act. Like, I will definitely leave that in the comment section so you can like it's like you can read it and everything if you want want to. But like from everything that like I just like quickly scanned through and read, they're just telling lies. Like all of this is just lies. Because like it's just talking about how like you can't discriminate against like sexual orientation or gender identity anymore. So like I hate the fact that like the government needs to do better, and I'm just like, no. Like it is. Like this is doing better. You need to do better by stop being homophobic and transphobic. Yeah, anyways, we're running pretty close to the same time as my last video. So like I hope you enjoyed watching me like react. Like if you want me to react to other things, like if you have things you want me to react to, like specifically, you can leave them in the comments. I read the comments, or you can DM me the links on any of my social medias. That will also be linked down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, you can subscribe, because basically whenever I see something like this that's like transphobic or anything, like I'll definitely make a video reacting to it. So, I also make Minecraft videos. Um, hoping to expand that more, but it's okay. I'm mostly doing like horror maps right now. So if you would like me, if you'd like to see me be scared, you can definitely you should go check out some of them. I also stream on Twitch. I'm still trying to do Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Haven't been so well because of hasn't been so well because of school, and now I'm actually getting like a job. So I'm hoping that like I can mainly just get morning shifts, so like I can do um streams in the afternoons like I usually do. Usually do them like possibly around like 8 and 9 or 8 or 9, somewhere around those two times. Like I'll be starting. So if you would like to see me play Minecraft in real life, in real time, I guess actually, uh, go go check out my Twitch. Um, Also, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You could also give it a thumbs down. I don't really care if you didn't like it, but like I don't see why you would like be here at the end of the video by now if you hated it. Um, you can leave comments. You can also leave hate comments, but like the most I can promise is about with the reaction you're gonna get with a hate comment is either my laughter or just deleted. So yeah. So if you're gonna leave a hate comment, make sure it's funny. Make me laugh with it. Otherwise, like I'm gonna have to delete it because like I don't want non-funny hate on my videos. So yeah. Um. Yeah. I think that's everything. Um. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you in the next video, which will probably be a Minecraft video. So yeah. Bye.